Hey, what's going on, peoples? We have 1:30 in the a.m. Tuesday. Listen, listen. We have a lot of things going on out here, and everybody, well, in my world, they talking about the Antichrist and all this other type of stuff, and I was telling some people, what do they mean anti? What do anti mean? You see, it's nice to know what Antichrist mean, and then they'll show you like a guy with all the superpowers and all these other type things. You see, and probably charismatic, probably a multi-billionaire, all these type things. You see, they placing all these things on an individual. Who was the Antichrist to your grandparents? Who? Who was the Antichrist? What did the Antichrist? Did your grandparents ever see something that was anti-anointed, or something that was opposed to them? Something that was opposed to your grandparents. What was opposed, or what was against your grandparents' liberation or existence? Who was opposed to you living? What is an antichrist? You see, what is an antichrist? You see, that's just like people saying they talking about Jesus, and Jesus don't exist. They say the antichrist don't exist and all this other type of stuff. This is what I be saying. You see, I'm trying to understand how people be using these words, because if you come off and you talk like I do and all these other type things, they say horrible things about you. You see, I'm just trying to figure out what this anti thing is. Who are opposed to your existence, to your liberation, to your righteousness, to everything that will promote longevity? What is the Antichrist? Don't talk to me about what it is like in a book, or like on TV or animations. No, I'm talking about the Greek word anti. What do the Greek word anti mean? Do it mean against? Opposed? Who was opposed? Who was against clean water? Who was against fruits that have seeds, or vegetation that grows naturally? Who was against you when you're walking to the store around about 9 o'clock just to get some chips, because you probably smoked some weed or some shit? Who was against you? Who was against you in your neighborhoods? Who was against you in the early 80s or mid 80s when they brought all that crack up into the community? Who was in power then? You see, who was in power? Was that the Antichrist? Did they flood? See, people they be talking about. I be yelling, and when I open my mouth and cry out, they say something about emotions, or they'll say, well, you have to You have to have intelligent emotions. Listen, I don't pay no attention to that bullshit. I don't pay no attention. When they say intelligent, I listen, I turn my back on these motherfuckers. Excuse my French. I turn my back on anybody, you see, who talk about intelligence. You see? But they don't never do nothing to those who are opposed to nature with your intelligence. You do nothing. I don't care how many books you read, what type of accolades you have, certificates of approval you have. You don't have the power to stop them from cutting off your lifeline so you can live? Who are these beings? You can't see the Antichrist? Just like you won't see Jesus in a mega body. You hate him. Now you hate yourself because you don't know that this body is you. You are the Christ. You are the anointed ones. You see, if I raise my voice and cry out loud, you see, this third body here, see, loud, this third body. If I cry out like this, people say I have, you know, disruptive emotions. You see, they say some of the most harsh things. You see, if I'm talking and I kind of chuckle a little bit and I laugh and I change my sound and change the tone of my voice and things, however it may be, you see, they say I'm not serious. But but they're not talking like directly to me. They talking to other people. And then because they don't know who's around, so then they'll come and then, you know, people who know me, they'll come and whisper in my ear. You see, it don't bother me. It's just like I would tell them what I do, what the chuckles are for, and why I say, oh man, and just let it go and things, because I cheer a lot. You see, I cheer a lot, and I'm happy that I'm doing something that I was born with. I had this understanding since I was a kid, but throughout life, you get your skull get cracked, you get your arms and stuff broken. You see, you don't go to no schools. You ain't never been to no prom. You ain't never walked across the stage. The only certificate you have of graduation was in the 6th grade. You see, I only walked across the stage and received a certificate in elementary school in the 6th grade. You see, all throughout those years, they passed me through from the 8th, 9th, 10th. They always passed me through, all the way up to the left. I said, fuck them. You see? I said, fuck this shit. You see? Well, I ain't said it like that. I don't even think I was cussing then, in the 80s. Oh man, it just bothers me a little bit sometimes, you know. It's nothing horrible, nothing bad, too bad, but I just don't understand this anti stuff, man. You know, this anti thing. I just can't get it in my head. You know, people are infected with that spirit, and you're affected with that spirit. What can go against the Antichrist? You see, what can go against the anti? You see, somebody who is not anointed. Christ means anointed. Anointed means to oil, to rub on you, whatever that stuff is, man. I'm sick of that stuff too. I'm just sick of all this retarded shit, man. It's retarded. It's not real shit. It's not real. You see. But the anti-nature thing is real. It's real. They're affecting you. They hate the air. They hate your existence. They hate the water. They hate the fruits. Everything, every type of fuel that you need to live and to prosper and to whatever. I mean, come on. They hate it. They hate it. You see, these are the people that your grandparents saw when they were in their youth and bearing witness to it from their parents. You see the hell that they went through from these anti-beings. And the children are still here. You see? And you're voting for them. And in this day and time, I hate to say it, I don't hate to say it, but the Democrats wore white robes. You see, they wore white robes. And they pulled some of you in, you see. And that's just like they can talk to you the way they want to talk to you, because they feel like you are theirs. You are theirs and stuff. You see what Biden say? If you don't vote for me, you're not black. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. You see, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. It's not real shit. It's not real, y'all. It's not real. All this stuff is an illusion. All this stuff is an illusion. You see, it's an illusion, but it's going to affect your livelihood, though. But it's all an illusion. They be making shit up, gaining money from people, robbing you. You see, they robbing God. They rob God every day. They up in the Capitol Hill trying to figure out how they can stop God, rob God, do all these type of things. You see, these people that's doing these chemical things to everything out here, they have to sign petitions and shit. Or not petition. They have to sign whatever they sign. They have to sign for that shit. And people are putting their signature down so they can go forward. You see, it's all this stuff is horrible, man. It's horrible. It's horrible, and it's going to affect your children. All this stuff always affect the next generation. If you don't know whoever was in office when that crack came up from California all the way up to the Bay Area, if you don't know who I think it was Reagan or something, Reagan in office then, because I think it was Carter and then Reagan, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Reagan in office. You see? Or was it? Yeah, it had to be Reagan. Yeah, Reagan in office. Because after Reagan, I think it was Bush and then Clinton. But all of them are antichrist. All of them are antichrist. This woman that y'all talking about, you see, she's antichrist. They all are antichrist. You see? And then you call yourself Christians or Christ followers, but you trying to put in office, or you swearing upon something. You see? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. That's what y'all do. You swear. And you got a nerve to talk about I cuss. You swearing when you voting for these beings. And your people have so much currency that we don't even need their vote. We just need to learn how to talk to each other and stop hating each other and stop hating Jesus. Stop hating Jesus, because you are Jesus no matter what you say or how you say it. You ain't Yahusha, but you're Jesus. You see, they named you Jesus. That's your name. That's who you are. You're not black, you're Jesus. What if you knew the power that they wrote about in the text? What if you knew about that power? Just look at who you are. That's why Satan came, or that's why around the world, everybody treats you the same way they treated Jesus. The same way. No difference. No difference. They called him a devil. They called him a demon, a sorcerer. All these things. They do the same thing to you. Everything. Everything. Your Antichrist or your enemy is right next to you. Is sitting at the table with you, is eating you. It's your Antichrist is feeding you out of a box every fucking day or every week whenever you get paid. The Antichrist is feeding you. The Antichrist is putting fuel in your car. The Antichrist said you can't drive on my roads unless you give me that money. We call it taxes. You see. Give me that money. I need that money. Your home, don't pay me those taxes for that land. You see. You want your land? Well, you got to pay me. Pay me. Because this is my earth. You see. My daddy was granted ownership. You see. You see, that's how they be talking and shit. You see, supremacy is nothing but anti-liberation. That's what supremacy is, anti-liberation. You see, those who claim to be that, or think they have more power than other beings on the planet. You see, they think they're superior. You see. And so they do things to other people, you see, behind their backs, but like this in their face. You see? It's amazing. It's amazing. You just can't say white folks. You see? You gotta go through every nation that has power. That's where you're going to see your Antichrist. You see? Look over there in Israel. Look what they're doing. You see, look what they're doing. Their eyes is focusing on this giant continent. You see, and whoever is the head horn over there, you see, that's the Antichrist. You see, mind state. That's the Antichrist. And to anybody that looks like this or looks like the grounds, I love you, buddy.